Think about it, the power to know earlier. When it comes to cancer, um, that early insight can change everything. And that's precisely what we're plunging into today. We've got this compelling report in front of us titled The Global Non-Invasive Cancer Diagnostics Market Size Will Be USD 17,640 million in 2025. Our mission, really, for you tuning in, is to cut through the jargon and grasp the real story. What's fueling this huge market, the crucial shifts happening, and, the technology is making early detection a growing reality.
Exactly. We're talking about a field dedicated to finding cancer without the need for traditional surgical biopsies. Imagine detecting signs of disease through a blood test, maybe a urine sample, or using advanced imaging techniques. This report gives us a remarkable look at the current landscape and where it's all heading.
Okay, let's unpack this. The headline grabber right off the bat is the sheer size of this market. In 2025, it's estimated to reach a massive USD 176.24 billion globally. But that's just a snapshot, isn't it? Where is this heading?
Yeah, the trajectory is pretty significant. The report projects the market will grow to USD 321.41 billion by 2033. What is particularly noteworthy is the anticipated compound annual growth rate, or CAGR. That's 7.80% between 2025 and 2033. This signals, a steady and substantial expansion in this vital area, healthcare.
And what's the engine driving this impressive growth? It seems pretty straightforward, really. The increasing push for earlier and earlier detection. It's intuitive, right? Find it sooner, treat it more effectively.
Absolutely. Early detection is paramount in improving treatment success and ultimately survival rates. And the desire for less invasive ways to identify cancer is a primary driver propelling this market forward. Think about the anxiety and discomfort associated with traditional biopsies. Non-invasive methods offer a significant advantage there.
Now, this report gives us a fantastic global overview, but it also drills down into the regional specifics, which is incredibly insightful. Let's maybe start by looking at North America.
Sure. North America is currently the dominant force in this market, accounting for over 40% of the global revenue. Their market size in 2025 is projected to be USD 65.21 billion, with a predicted CAGR of 6.3% from 2025 to 2033.
Wow, 40%. That's a considerable chunk of the market. What's specifically driving that momentum in North America?
Well, several factors are at play. We're seeing a rising incidence of cancer in the region, which naturally increases the need for diagnostic tools. North America also boasts significant technological advancements in this field, and a strong preference for procedures that are as minimally invasive as possible. Plus, you've got a well-established healthcare infrastructure, substantial investments in R&D, and supportive government policies. It all contributes to this robust market position.
That makes perfect sense. And if we look closer at North America, the United States is the lion's share of that, right?
Precisely. The U.S. is forecast to have a market size of USD 51.45 billion in 2025, with a CAGR of 6.1%. Canada follows with a USD 7.83 billion market and a slightly higher growth rate, interestingly, at 7.1%. Mexico is estimated at USD 5.93 billion with a 6.8% CAGR.
Okay, so North America is the current leader. What about Europe? How does it compare?
Europe represents the next biggest piece, over 30% of the global revenue, with a market size of USD 51.11 billion in 2025. Their projected CAGR from 2025 to 2033 is 6.8%. So pretty strong growth there, too.
So a strong second position. Are there particular countries within Europe that are really, leading the charge?
Yes, Germany stands out with an estimated market size of USD 10.12 billion and a 7.0% CAGR. The UK follows closely with USD 7.92 billion, though with a slightly lower 5.8% CAGR. And France is estimated at USD 4.70 billion with a 6.0% CAGR.
What are the key factors driving Europe's growth in this market? Are they similar to North America?
There are definitely parallels. A rising cancer prevalence is unfortunately a significant factor across Europe as well. We're also seeing substantial progress in technologies like liquid biopsy and advanced medical imaging, increasing governmental support for early detection initiative, a strong and accessible healthcare infrastructure, plus a high adoption rate of precision medicine approaches, and considerable investment in R&D, all contributing.
Right, right. Now let's shift our focus to a region that's often talked about for its, rapid growth potential, Asia Pacific or APAC.
Absolutely. APAC holds around 23% of the global revenue, with a market size of USD 42.3 billion in 2025. But what's truly remarkable here is the projected CAGR. a very impressive 10.5% from 2025 to 2033. This is the highest growth rate projected among all the regions.
Wow, 10.5%. So while North America is the biggest right now, APAC is clearly on a fast track. Which countries in APAC are spearheading this growth?
China is a major player, no surprise there, with a projected market size of USD 17.76 billion and a 10.0% CAGR. But India really stands out with the highest national growth rate mentioned in the report, a striking 12.4% CAGR, and market size of USD 4.23 billion. Japan is also significant with USD 5.84 billion and a 9.0% CAGR, followed by South Korea at USD 5.08 billion and a 9.6% CAGR. Even smaller markets like Singapore at USD 0.85 billion have a strong 10.8% CAGR. And Southeast Asia as a whole is projected at USD 2.79 billion with an 11.3% CAGR.
That's phenomenal growth in India and Southeast Asia. What's fueling this rapid expansion in the APAC region? It sounds like a real hotspot.
Yeah, several converging factors are driving this. There's a growing incidence of cancer across the region, definitely, but also coupled with increasing public awareness about healthcare and the benefits of early detection. We're also witnessing significant advancements in medical technology becoming more accessible there, and governments are increasingly investing in early detection programs. The expanding middle class in many APAC countries is also a key contributor, as is the rise in collaborations and partnerships within the healthcare sector.
So a lot of really dynamic developments in APAC. Very interesting. What about the other regions the report covers? Let's take a quick look at South America.
Okay, South America accounts for over 5% of the global revenue. Market size there is USD 6.70 billion in 2025, and they've got a projected CAGR of 8.5% from 2025 to 2033. So solid growth.
And which countries in South America are the primary players in this market?
Brazil is the largest market in the region, estimated size of USD 2.87 billion and a 9.1% CAGR. Argentina follows with USD 1.13 billion and an even slightly higher CAGR at 9.4%.
And what's driving the growth in the South American market for non-invasive cancer diagnostics? Similar story.
Largely, yes. Similar to other regions, we see increasing cancer prevalence, advancements in diagnostic technologies becoming more available, and rising public awareness about healthcare. There's also increasing investment from both government and private entities in improving healthcare infrastructure, which is key.
Okay. Moving on to the Middle East, what insights does the report offer about that region?
The Middle East has a market share of around 2% of global revenue. The market size is estimated at USD 7.05 billion in 2025, and the CAGR is projected at 9.1% from 2025 to 2033. So again, quite strong growth.
Are there specific countries leading the way in the Middle East in this area?
Saudi Arabia has a significant market size, USD 2.48 billion with a 9.4% CAGR. The UAE follows with USD 1.45 billion and a 9.6% CAGR. And Turkey actually shows the highest national growth rate mentioned in that region at 9.7% CAGR, though with a smaller market size of USD 0.56 billion currently.
What factors are contributing to this growth in the Middle East? Sounds like investment is key there too.
It is. Rising cancer prevalence is a key driver, along with increasing investments in healthcare facilities and advancements in medical technology.
Right.
Governments and the private sector are both expanding their oncology care capabilities, and there's definitely a growing awareness among the population about the importance of early detection.
Right. Finally, let's consider Africa. What does the report tell us about the non-invasive cancer diagnostics market there?
Africa currently holds around 1% of the global revenue. The market size is USD 3.88 billion in 2025, and the projected CAGR is 8.1% from 2025 to 2033.
Which countries in Africa have the largest markets in this sector?
South Africa is the largest, with an estimated market size of USD 1.36 billion and a 9.31 billion with an 8.3% CAGR.
And what's fueling the growth of non-invasive cancer diagnostics in Africa? I imagine infrastructure is a bigger challenge there.
It can be, but again, increasing cancer prevalence and rising investments in healthcare are important factors. We're also seeing improved awareness of the benefits of early detection, thankfully. And technologies like liquid biopsy and advanced imaging are becoming more accessible, albeit maybe slower than elsewhere. Government initiatives and collaborations with international organizations are also playing a crucial role in driving things forward.
It's really striking, isn't it, seeing the variations in market size and growth rates across these different regions. Now, the report also breaks down the market by the types of tests being used. What are the key segments we should be aware of there?
Yeah, the report highlights two major categories within test types, urine tests and imaging tests. And interestingly, it projects that urine tests are, well, on the verge of becoming a dominant force in this market.
Urine tests.
Yeah.
Really? That's quite a development. What's driving that shift towards urine-based diagnostics?
Well, the report emphasizes their affordability, ease of use, and crucially, high level of patient acceptance or compliance. They're non-painful, simple to collect, which makes them pretty ideal for widespread screening programs. Furthermore, significant progress in what we call biomarker detection in urine, that's the ability to identify specific molecules like DNA, RNA, proteins that indicate cancer, has dramatically improved their accuracy, especially for cancers like bladder, kidney, and prostate. And the application of liquid biopsy techniques to urine samples is also enhancing their sensitivity. Think of liquid biopsy as finding tiny traces of cancer cells or their genetic material in fluids. Doing that in urine is, well, pretty convenient.
That makes a lot of sense. Less invasive, more convenient, potentially cheaper, and getting more accurate. What about imaging tests, though? They've been a cornerstone of cancer diagnostics for a long time.
Absolutely, and they remain incredibly important. Imaging tests that include stuff like CT scans, MRI, nuclear medicine scans, X-rays, mammography, ultrasound, spectroscopy, they're also experiencing rapid growth. Their strength really lies in their accuracy and speed in visualizing potential tumors, and they're generally well tolerated by patients compared to, say, surgical biopsies. The report points out that the integration of artificial intelligence, AI, in analyzing these images is significantly boosting their precision. AI can help identify subtle anomalies that might be missed by the human eye. Plus, the combination of imaging with liquid biopsy results that's leading to even more refined and confident diagnoses.
So it sounds like both urine-based tests and imaging tests are playing crucial, maybe complementary roles, leveraging different strengths in the non-invasive diagnostics landscape. The report also looks at the market through the lens of the specific types of cancer being diagnosed. Which cancers are leading the way in the adoption of these non-invasive methods?
Breast cancer currently dominates this segment. That's largely due to its high global incidence and the extensive awareness campaigns surrounding it. Significant advancements in non-invasive techniques like liquid biopsies, finding breast cancer markers in blood, alongside established imaging like mammography, MRI, ultrasound. They've been instrumental. Plus, you have government-backed screening programs, lots of research funding, biomarker-based tests, AI tools. It all contributes to breast cancer being a major focus.
That aligns with what we often hear about the strong focus on breast cancer detection. Makes sense. What about other cancer types? Are non-invasive methods making significant inroads there as well?
Definitely. Lung cancer is identified as a major driver of growth in the non-invasive diagnostics market. Its high prevalence and, unfortunately, high mortality rates really underscore the critical need for earlier detection. Traditional biopsies for lung cancer can be invasive and carry risks, making non-invasive approaches highly valuable. Things like liquid biopsies finding lung cancer markers in blood, advanced imaging, blood tests looking for specific cancer-related molecules. The increasing use of AI-driven screening tools for lung scans and the application of next-generation sequencing, which lets us analyze vast amounts of genetic material, are also accelerating progress. Plus, growing awareness and how these methods fit into personalized medicine, tailoring treatments.
It's really encouraging to see progress in non-invasive detection for lung cancer, given its serious nature.
Okay.
Now, the final way the report categorizes the market is by the end user, essentially. Where are these tests primarily being administered?
Right. The report highlights two key end user segments, hospitals and clinics, and then ambulatory care centers. Currently, hospitals and clinics are the dominant locations for these tests.
That's probably not too surprising, I guess, given their established infrastructure and range of services. What makes them the primary hubs right now?
Well, they handle a high volume of patients, obviously. They possess the advanced diagnostic equipment, and they have the necessary skilled medical professionals on site. A significant portion of cancer screenings using these cutting-edge technologies happens within hospital settings. Hospitals also often benefit from government funding, research collaborations, and established insurance reimbursement pathways, which makes these diagnostics more accessible. And the ongoing need for more complex diagnostic workups and integrating these tests into broader treatment plans often still happens in hospitals.
But the report also points to rapid growth in ambulatory care settings. What's driving that trend?
Yeah, ambulatory care centers are indeed a rapidly expanding sector in this market. They often offer more convenient and sometimes more cost-effective early detection services. There's a clear trend of shifting certain diagnostic procedures out of the traditional hospital setting to these outpatient facilities that can reduce patient wait times and enhance accessibility. And advancements in technologies like liquid biopsy, molecular diagnostics, looking at the molecular characteristics of diseases, and AI-driven screening tools are enabling quicker, accurate diagnoses in these settings too. Plus, there's an increasing patient preference for less invasive procedures, wanting greater comfort and faster results. That's a major factor. And expanding government initiatives and insurance coverage for diagnostics performed in these settings helps too.
So it appears we'll continue to see hospitals and clinics as major players, but with a significant increase in the role of ambulatory care centers in delivering non-invasive cancer diagnostics. Interesting dynamic. Now, stepping back to look at the bigger picture, the report also touches on some overarching factors that are either driving or maybe hindering this market. Let's start with what's fueling this overall growth.
Sure. The report identifies several key drivers. The continuous improvement in imaging tech, the really significant advancements we're seeing in liquid biopsy techniques,
Yeah.
and the increasing and sophisticated integration of AI in both image analysis and biomarker discovery, those are major forces.
Mhm.
Then there's the unfortunate but real increasing number of cancer cases globally, which naturally drives demand for better early detection. And finally, the growing preference among both patients and clinicians for minimally invasive procedures over traditional, more invasive biopsies. That's a big catalyst.
Those all seem like pretty logical drivers, but with such rapid innovation and growth, there must be some hurdles or challenges as well. What are the main restraints on this market's expansion, according to the report?
It highlights two primary restraints. First, the often high cost associated with these advanced diagnostic technologies that can limit their widespread adoption, particularly in less affluent regions or for certain segments of the population. And second, the regulatory landscape. Getting new medical devices and diagnostic tests approved can be complex and sometimes slow, delaying market entry for promising new solutions.
Yeah, those are important considerations. Cost and the regulatory pathway, they can definitely influence how quickly these innovations become widely available and accessible. Looking ahead then, what are some of the key trends that are expected to shape the future of non-invasive cancer diagnostics?
Well, one very significant trend is the rapid development and increasing adoption of blood-based multi-cancer early detection tests. The potential to screen for multiple different types of cancer with a single blood draw. That's huge. Another crucial trend is the ongoing enhancement of accuracy in diagnostics through applying sophisticated machine learning algorithms and predictive analytics to the vast amounts of data these tests generate.
Multi-cancer early detection from a single blood test. That sounds like it could be a real paradigm shift. Wow. And it's clear AI is becoming an increasingly essential tool in refining diagnostic capabilities. The report also gives us a snapshot of the competitive landscape, who are some of the key companies operating in this space.
Yeah, the market is indeed highly competitive. Lots of companies focus on developing cutting-edge tools and tech. In the liquid biopsy arena, companies like Exact Sciences, Guardant Health, Freenome, they're often mentioned as being at the forefront, offering blood-based tests for early detection.
Hmm.
Other companies like Biocept and Thermo Fisher Scientific are making significant strides in advancing genetic and molecular diagnostic approaches.
It sounds like collaboration and partnerships are also pretty important in driving innovation in this field. The report mentions some specific examples, right?
Yes, absolutely. Strategic collaborations are a common and effective strategy here. For example, the report highlights that back in December 2024, Guardant Health and Boehringer Ingelheim announced a partnership. They're focused on getting regulatory clearance and then commercializing Guardant 360 CDx as a companion diagnostic for a specific lung cancer treatment. This type of collaboration can really speed up getting targeted diagnostics to patients. The report also mentions Danaher Corporation's initiative to establish two new centers of innovation in diagnostics. The first one's in the UK and slated to open soon. These centers aim to push the boundaries of precision medicine and diagnostic tech.
That gives us a really good sense of the key players and the sort of collaborative environment within this market. So as we bring this deep dive to a close, let's quickly recap the main takeaways from our exploration of the non-invasive cancer diagnostics market.
Sure. We've seen a market poised for really substantial growth, projected to exceed USD 321 billion by 2033. While North America currently holds the largest market share, the Asia-Pacific region is anticipated to experience the most rapid expansion. Remember that, high CGR. Key technologies like liquid biopsies and advanced medical imaging, especially with AI integration, are crucial drivers. And the increasing emphasis on early detection, coupled with ongoing tech advancements and that growing preference for minimally invasive procedures, is really fueling this significant expansion.
Absolutely. It's a rapidly evolving field with just tremendous potential to transform how we detect and manage cancer. And on that thought, here's something for you, our listeners, to consider. With such rapid progress and substantial growth expected in non-invasive cancer diagnostics, what broader impacts might we see? Think about our healthcare systems, individual well-being over the next decade, the possibilities for earlier, more precise diagnoses, maybe more personalized treatment strategies, even how healthcare might be delivered differently as these technologies become more widespread. It's definitely a lot to ponder.